Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of our pre-recorded mentorship course. Stranger FX here, your mentor here. So in this episode, remember we talked on the last episode. Remember we actually talked about structure based on the higher time frame, right? We talked about structure, which is I said it is the foundation of knowing the market where it is going, or the foundation of the market, just knowing the market, right? So in this episode, we're gonna be talking about the inner structure, right? The inner structure, which is where you would actually what you wanna see based on the, because like once you know the structure, guys, once you know structure, what you need to know is you need to know the inner structure. What's the role that the inner structure plays, and how you can utilize it to actually put it at your advantage to make a lot of money, right? So let's get back to pieces. Just a recap. Remember what we said. We said structure is understanding the basis of the market, the fundamentals and the basis of the market, of where it is trending or where it is going, right? Like here I said, remember what I said. If the market is trending to the upside, right? If the market is trending to the upside, or if the market is breaking highs, right, it means we only look for buys, right? If the market is trending or is breaking highs, right, if the market is breaking highs like this, we only look for buying setups, right? And this, let's say this is structure based on the higher time frame, right? Structure based on the higher time frame, right? So the safest things to do here, it is to buy, right? It is to buy. If this is the higher time frame, let's say it's the weekly, like it is, right? As you can see, it's the weekly. If we go to the daily, if you go to the daily time frame, what you will find is you would find a similar thing, but on the daily time frame it would give you more details of this whole scenario that is happening here. What you can find on the daily time frame is you can find some fragments of structure here, something like this, right? Let me do it like this, something like this, and you can find something like this on the daily time frame, remember, right? So but yeah, something like this, so on and so on, right? So but you need to understand what's happening, right? You need to understand, and you need to be able, let me stop it here, you need to be able to understand how to use all the structures from the weekly to even the 15 minutes time frame to check your trades, right, or your trend, and to take a trade, right, guys? So I'm gonna teach you that, guys. I'm going to teach you that. So the one thing that we have to add now, one thing that we need to add now from our previous knowledge is understanding the break of structure, or when a trend is ending, which they call it, some call it choke or what, but that's just because I'm not teaching you smart man, I'll say a break of structure or a trend a trend change. We need to understand it, right? So if the market in the fractal structure, right, if it's approach our point of interest, or the support and resistance zone, if this was our point of interest or our zone, right, if this was our zone, right, our zone of interest, right, what we would wait for is we wait for the market. Remember the footprint. I'm still to teach you the schematic of the footprint properly, and all, right? Remember, if you would have had a trend line here, something like this, right? If you had a trend line here, something like this, so what you wait for is you wait for the market to break properly your trend line, right? Not only your trend line, sorry, to break your trend line, not only your trend line, but also break the previous high, right, that created the low, right? So here you can see that the market broke a high. It first took out a low, right, broke a high, then created a higher low, right, which is what we call a footprint, right? This is actually the schematic of a footprint, but I'm not there yet. I'm on structure, guys. So once you see this on the smaller time frame, whether if you drew it on that, if you drew let me do this. If we had like a trending market, which is, this is the weekly time frame, something like this, and we had a low, and a high, and we have a higher low like this, and we anticipate for a high like this, right? We want the market to, we want to catch a trade to this high like this, right? So what you are looking for, let's say this is the weekly and this is the daily or the 4 hours, whatever you'd want to choose based on the trader that you are, right? So what you're gonna do, you're gonna wait for the break of structure on the smaller time frame structure, right? You're gonna wait for the break of structure, something like this, and once you actually see a footprint here, you can actually take it. Or what you can also do in this point is you can go to the 15 minutes and look for the same thing, right? But let us go to the chart so that you can see what I'm talking about, right? I hope I make sense. Let us go to the chart so that you can see what I'm talking about. So at this point, let's say the market was trending to the upside, right? The market gave us a high, a low, a high, a low, and we're anticipating for a high, right? So if we go to the smaller time frame, I have my laptop closed because I'm using a screen, guys. I'm using a monitor, sorry, so I have to like switch on like this, right? If we go to the smaller time frame, let us go to the 4 hour, right, and use it for what I'm gonna illustrate, right? If we go to the 4 hour time frame, okay, on the 4 hour time frame you can clearly see that, okay, we didn't have that much of what I'm talking about, because we had a high, we have this trending market. Let me use a drawing tool. We have a high here, a low. Okay, let me do this, sorry, let me go back to the full screen view, and then we will look at it like this from here, right, from this perspective, right? So I want to show you this, what I'm actually talking about. Look at what the market did from here. It created a high here, it created a low, and it created a high again here, right? And then it broke the low to create a lower low, right? And then if there is a lower low, we would wanna catch a lower high, right? A lower low again, a lower high here, and then based on this structure that I'm looking at here, sorry, let me do this. Yeah, I'm sorry guys for all this. So based on this low high, the next low would be this one, right? We have this low. This is an internal structure, but I'll show you how you're gonna see that, right? We have this low and we have this high, right? And then we have a low like this, right? We have a low like this. So after the market does that, right? After the market does that, so remove. I need to get back to my pointer. So after the market does that, right, we know if like we had a point of interest at this area. Let's say we had a point of interest at this area. This is where we wanted to buy, right? We have this high that we're targeting. Remember, we have this high that we're targeting, and we have our former low, which is this one that we don't wanna see it broken, right? It is this one, right? Let me do this. We don't wanna see which one is low. Okay, this low, you wanna see it being broken, right? So we're at the verge, meaning at this point we can look for a reversal pattern, which is a break of structure. We can look for it whether even on the 1 hour time frame, based on what you're trading, 15 minutes time frame, 1 hour time frame, you can start looking for the same thing. Let us look at it this here, guys. Let us see what we're gonna see, right? Let us check it here and see if we can find it at this point, right? On the 1 hour time frame, you can see that we had a low here, we had a high, we had a low, and then we had a higher, right? Let me paint it out. We had a high here, we had a low, we had a lower high, a lower low, and then we had this some sort of a high here. On actually we had this low from this high we actually had this low here, and then from here the market broke this high, right, to give us a change in a trend, right. Once the market broke this high, we knew that okay, the market now is ready to create series of higher highs and higher lows, right. So the market from there, it created series of higher highs and higher lows, from this point actually, to where we want to see it, right. It even broke the high, right, the next high. So from this point to here, the market was bullish, right. It was bullish, and just using structure, right guys, just using structure, you could have maybe taken this trade and exited here. Just using structure alone, it was a proper trade, right. And again, as you can see guys, the market was trending. We had this high, low here, right. We had this let me mark, I wanna mark it, right. We had this high, we had this low, we had a high, we had a low, right. And then we had a fractal structure inside. We had a high, we had a low, we had a high, we had a low, we had a high, we had a low here, we had a high above, we had a low here. Let me show you. We had this high here, right. We had a low, we had a high again, we have a low here. So I think you can see now that okay, the market is actually trending like that, right. Excuse me. So we had this high and this low, and we had a high, until the market broke this low like this, right. Once the market broke this low, we had a lower low here. So after a lower low, obvious it's a lower high, and then we would wanna see a lower low again, right. A lower low, right. A lower low, which is came to the point of interest again, where we wanna see the market going higher, because overall on the weekly time frame it is still bullish, right. Even though you would have sold this, but overall it's still bullish, right. So I think now you can see that when we were going to the upside, in this trend here, when we were going to the upside here, we had a lot of higher lows and lower highs, right. But here we have a few of lower lows and lower highs. Why? Because the overall trend is an uptrend, right. We are trending to the upside. So if I could predict this market, what I can do is I can say okay, from here I can anticipate a high and then a low, right, another high, another low, until the market break a recent higher low, right, like this. The market is actually bearish, right, bullish I mean, right. The market is actually bullish. So that's how I see things, and that's how things are, right. That's how things are, guys. That's how I see it. So let us go to let me delete everything here. I'm trying to remove this. Yeah, okay. Okay. So yeah guys, so okay, let's do this. Right guys, so again, remember we were looking at structure based on the weekly time frame, which was creating highs and high lows, and the 4-hour time frame again, it's creating the same thing, right. Remember, let me show you this. Let me show it based on how I drew it the first time. Remember, on the weekly time frame we have such a structure, right. So we're anticipating a high that would break above here, right, break above here, and maybe from there we would have another higher low, right, higher low, right. Then again the trend continues. But if it goes to the smaller time frame again, the 4-hour, you would actually see the same thing, right, the same thing. Let me move from here, right, the same thing, right. The market trending to the upside, right, same thing, right. So when we say price is fractal, we mean this, right. What you see on the higher time frame, use it even on the smaller time frame. Use it on the smaller time frame. Try to find your edge there, and then you're gonna be okay, right. You're gonna make a lot of money from it. So guys, again, what you're looking for on the smaller time frame is you're looking for a break of structure, right? I'm still to teach you the patterns, some patterns, right? But you're looking for a break of structure. Either the market from here, it continues trending to the upside, or sometimes it does something like this and trends to the upside, or after the break of structure that you'd be looking for, it comes straight here and then starts trending to the upside, right? The same thing is true with a bearish market. What the market can do is it can do something like this and then trend down, or it just let me delete, or it just comes like this, breaks, retest, and then goes down, right? So these things are the things that we are looking for, right? These are what we are looking for, and you can then identify and say, okay, this is a footprint or what, but this is how it all works. This is how structure works, guys. Once you understand this, you will see how easy or easier the market will get, right? The market would then get easier. So thank you again for this, for tuning in onto the second lesson. Let us meet on the third episode of our mentorship. Thank you, guys.